Why make a new game when you can do one again? Oblivion Remaster, a 10 out of 10? Switch 2 pre-orders weren't the best, and Jeff put on trial for failing the quest. Welcome to New Dad Gaming.
Adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and may have failed the test.
Dun 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 dun.
Right.
This afternoon on Dad Court. Dun 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 dun. I don't take no bluff in my courtroom. All right. I'm trying to do my best at daytime TV, as we all recall from faking sick from school sometimes.
Yes.
But hey, if you haven't gathered by now, on this show we try to show that just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
Yeah, no, geez, I don't know. It just feels like I should jump right into like the dad trial. Because we're going to talk about the Minecraft movie or other stuff, but I'm kind of hyped now to hear like what happened. So
yeah, because you don't know. This is all I've told you is like I need a judgment call on no buying of new games. We're playing our backlog as far as we can, like for this year at least, right?
Yeah. So to catch viewers up for anybody who's just joining us, and thank you so much for doing it. We do appreciate it. Reach out to us at New Dad Gaming on all the socials. The dads this year, by a suggestion from a friend of the show, Tori, suggested that like for this year, no new games. Do not purchase, do not download. We made the very specific caveat. It's not about purchasing. It's about like no new games, because Prime gives you games. Yeah. Epic gives you free games. So it's just like no net new games into our play what you got.
Right.
So that was a challenge this year. We're doing pretty good. We're almost at the halfway point of the year. But Jeff might have stumbled. Fill us in. Lay yourself in truth to the gaming dads, and we'll make a determination.
Okay, I'm gonna lay out my case, provide the scenarios and the evidence, and you make the call. Okay, so Elite Dangerous. Okay, I felt like a space game one night. I'm like, I want to just drive around in space and have a good time. Let me get Elite Dangerous going, right? And I have talked about this before where I got it free, I think, on the Epic Games Store, right? Mm-hmm. So I booted that up, and it's just the thing that bugged me about Elite Dangerous, and again, I mentioned this before, was the dash on the spaceships is orange, and I just, for some reason, it really bugs me, and I want to mod it out. And you had mentioned, like, oh, that's easy. There's a mod for that, right? Mm-hmm. Of course there is.
Of course there's not.
And through the Epic Games Store, to work with the Steam Deck, you need their launcher and a whole bunch of jazz to get it running. Okay. And it screws up the modding. Like, it makes it just a little bit more difficult to do. And I tried it for, like, at least, like, an hour or two to get it to work. It wasn't taking. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I have it on PlayStation, like, from a long time ago.
Oh, interesting.
Booted it up. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I just play it in here because, like, it's slow on the Steam Deck and I'm not getting the mod. I'm just going to go into the PlayStation, see if they've updated anything, right? Mm-hmm. No, it's still orange, and it bugs me. I played...
I hate it. I hate orange much.
I don't know what it is. I can't. It's like acidic to my eyes. I don't want it. I know.
Now to your credit, and if any gaming dads want to always talk about, search for a gameplay of Elite Dangerous and make sure it's not modded. You will see the orange cockpit. It is it is aggressively orange.
It is. Like, all the text is orange. Everything's orange. So I tried to play it on the PlayStation for a bit. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. And I really wanted to get into it. So I went to Steam, and I'm like, okay. It is like, it's $5.
Oh, my God.
It's $5, and I know the mods work with it because it's directly through Steam, and it's in the OS of the Steam Deck. I'm not going to have an issue with it because I've modded a whole bunch of other games that way. So I had purchased it, okay? And then I'm like, I failed the test. I failed the challenge, right? And this is not where the story ends.
Okay.
Be like, you know what?
There's a story. I was ready to go. I was ready to give some like arguments, but continue.
Hold on, Judge. Hold on.
Dude. Right after these
For
messages.
your decision.
Dude.
I played it for a little bit. I tried to mod it out. I got the colors modded out, right? I boot this thing up. It runs like garbage. And I think it's because of the new expansion where you can land on planets and stuff. Odyssey, I think it's called. Mm-hmm. Which just drops the frame rate of this game on the Steam Deck, like to unplayable levels. Like it was so jittery and whatever. Like I'm like, well, now I have a new problem. I got the colors I wanted, but not the frame rate I want. So I refunded it.
Okay.
Right? So I purchased, but then I refunded. Like I don't have the game. So is it like a lapse, like in judgment, or like how do I judge? What do you think?
I do like that would almost set a precedent. Whereas, like, if you want to try a game, we could just buy it, play it, and then just give it back. You're like, all right, well, I got a taste. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let me come at this argument, like it's to kind of cut to the chase. I don't think you broke the challenge.
Okay, all right,
real talk,
all right.
but not because of the nonsense you pulled with refunding it. That's some hot nonsense.
Okay, all right.
So the reason why not is, as good as it is to kind of be in like non-consumerism for a little while, that's a great laudable goal. That was not at the heart of this challenge for us. It wasn't like, Jeff, you and I need to spend less money this year. We probably do, but that wasn't the point of the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So it was more that play your backlog, play your games that you already have, as opposed to taking on new ones. So you found yourself in a conundrum. Why am I defending you?
I know you're like doing. This is perfect for my case. I've got the prosecutor on my side. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I might be a simple man from Southern Ontario, but I would generally say like the intention of this was to focus on the backlog. Elite Dangerous was legitimately in your backlog.
Yeah. And
you kind of looked at the spectrum of games you've had. It's like, I would love to play this. But then, like, the circumstance of the current hardware, you couldn't play it.
Right.
Or even within, like, that was comfortable because of the orange.
Or, just the orange.
Yeah. So you tried to get it done and, like, couldn't happen. So, therefore, vis-a-vis, that just try to throw some language. I think you're in the clear.
All right.
Did you have, like, as you went to purchase, what was going through your head when you purchased it? Were you like, this is fine, like this is
honestly,
or was it, you know what, I don't care, like I so badly want to get into space, I'm willing to take the slings?
No, it was legitimately like the guilt of like, do I tell him I do this or keep it a secret?
Oh my god, you've been lying.
I'm like, no, it's gonna make good content for the show, and like then I could like air out my my guilt and shame of it all, and then feel better, because it's, again, like you said, it's just a backlog game, and I was trying to find the right platform to play it on. So it was, I did hesitate. I have hesitated a lot with like new games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and stuff. Like I've had it in my cart, and I'm like, you know what, no, like we've committed to something, it's okay, like I can play my backlog. And that's when I did, and I beat Metaphor and like some other games I had on the go that I would have just placed. So thank you. No, the guilt and shame worked.
Oh, that's amazing. I do love that you came honest. Like, we're trying to hide it like that. That I do appreciate. Okay, but no, again, like this challenge for us this year is about just no net new games. Right. So if you're just trying, like, it's the type of thing, like if you had something for PS4, and it's like, oh, I always love playing Rocket League, let's say. Right, but you wanted to try it on the PS5. It's like, that's not, and I know it's free, but just like bear with me. Yeah. Like that's not a new. No, even if it was free, that's not the problem. But because you previously played Rocket League and you like Rocket League, you're just getting it on a new modern system that you have, or your Steam Deck. That's, in my view, in the spirit of the challenge. So you're absolved. Like, need to have a gavel sound. Oh, we do. Yeah, you do. I got drums. I don't know if you guys can hear the air. This is probably inappropriate. Don't think the air. It's
kind of like I committed something. Like,
okay, hold on. No. The courtroom, we say he's not guilty.
Oh, okay.
Like that, and like
Perfect. Yeah.
Very good. Now, if any listeners have a different opinion about Jeff's verdict, we'd love to hear from you at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Okay, so I got one for you.
Okay.
About whether or not I did something with the challenge. If I broke the challenge.
Okay.
So I bought a Switch 2.
Did you really? Shut up.
No, not really. So,
Okay.
I did buy it, but it's not what you think. So, and I will say though, like there was a temptation. Let me give you the whole like story.
Okay.
So I'll cut to the chase a little bit. So like I'll start with the punchline, then we'll explain the joke. So I bought one on behalf of my brother.
Okay.
But then I'm shipping it to him, and he paid me back.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because there was pre-order madness for anybody who legitimately was trying to get a Switch 2. Like these things like flew off the shelves. It was a very busy day. There was like 3 or 4 sites all trying to do it, and through Amazon, I was looking at. I'll say this, and this is where like it came close. This was like at the door of temptation.
Right.
Is because for some reason in my mind, like after like all of our conversation about it and everything, is like the purchase price of this thing to get it and to have it was going to be like $1,000 and like $1,100 Canadian.
Yeah.
Like that was like what was in my head. But then when I went to Amazon to see the launch, like the Mario Kart version was like $680 or like $699 Canadian.
Right.
And for some reason, it was better. It's like one of those. That's that stupid sales and marketing trick where I'm like, wow, that's not $1,000.
That's not bad. Yeah.
And then came everybody falls prey to. It's that FOMO. It's the like the heat of the moment,
Yes.
and it's like, oh, I can like, it's like wow, it's like right there, and like, geez, like maybe I could actually get it as far as a pre-order. Like that's kind of like rare in a sense. Right, so it all just came to pass, and like all of a sudden, like I found myself like I hit the pre-order button. Sorry, it's not the pre-order button. What the button was, and I think remind me after. I think you had the same story with a. It was like a right to pre-order basically, and then you got it for something else. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, like you buy.
Wasn't it how you got your PS5, or was it?
Yeah. Yes, and I totally like feel what you're saying with.
Yeah.
Like it's like a challenge now, and like now I can grab it and no one else can get it. Do I get it? But yeah, you bought like a ticket like for the right to buy it when it becomes available because they don't have the product yet.
Yeah,
right?
you go into a queue to pre-order it is what I did. It's like, okay, I have an intention to pre-order this, or I would like to pre-order this. Like, okay, you've been entered into a lottery.
Yeah,
we'll let you know. And then mine showed up the next day. No, and so my brother and I both did this. Right.
Yeah.
And what I'm curious about is that if I had gotten it and he had also gotten it, would I have gone through with the purchase?
Oh, okay.
Right. Because what ended up being a very easy backdoor for like an exit strategy was that he didn't get it, and he 100% was going to buy this thing.
Okay.
Right. Like there was no question for him, but for me there was. And because he didn't get it, it became this very easy. Oh well, you could definitely have it. Like I don't need it.
Yeah.
Right. So easy release valve for the pressure. But one has to wonder, put to the test in that particular moment, and I just have to imagine that it was exactly what you felt with that PS5. Because when you hit the hey, I'd like to put myself in the queue so I can purchase it. Yeah. At that very moment, that you were probably like, I'm not sure if I will, but I may as well try. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that window pops up, and that's when I went to my wife and be like, hey, listen, there's a chance I can get this thing. It's going to cost a bunch of money. Are you cool with that? It's COVID. We're staying home, all that stuff. Like, because it was during that time I was trying to sell it. And she's like, you don't even have to sell it to me. Whatever. Yes, go ahead. Use your adult money for once, right? I was like, okay. And then purchase, and like that made me feel better, right? Like justified it. So I can see the wheels kind of spinning in your head. Where you're like, you know what? Like, why not? Maybe alternate universe Trevor, who also had that, and your brother had that. Trevor bought it. For himself.
I will say, like, it was really conflicted because it's just A, like honestly, because part of the challenge. B. Let's say if I got you could recall, so Jeff and I got together last summer Went to the concert for Final Fantasy music. Absolutely fantastic and stunning. If it comes to your city, highly recommend. You got to do it. But he brought his Steam Deck, and I got to play it, and then I think he said something to the effect of, "Hey, do you know this is like only like $350 right now?" It's like, I said, "A what?" You said, "What just came out of your mouth?" Like, and is that moment of looking at it, right, where it's just like, I don't need it. There's no, like, I've never thought about having it before, but like at that price and for this thing, like, hot damn, that looks pretty good, right? And
yeah, I know, I feel you.
it's just something about that moment that just even breaks like the resolve, which I think, again, like, it's all on purpose, right? They do this very much on purpose to get us, and it works.
It does every single time.
So it would have been such a fantastic story here, where you're like, "Oh, I bought Elite Dangerous for $5.
I bought a $5 game."
Like, I bought $1,000 system. It's like it's the same.
Yeah, you didn't tell me any of this when I was unloading pre-show.
No.
Like, listen, I have to talk about this, and you're like, ha ha ha.
You're beside yourself. It was great. No, so like I said, for the facts of the case, technically I bought it, but I bought it like on behalf of somebody, so like that isn't. However, like the real, the darndest thing about it is that if we had both gotten into the pre-order thing, one would question would I have gone through with it.
Would you? Okay, so if another pre-order comes up, let's say they have round 2, you had a taste.
No,
you had.
I'm happy with how this turned out. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I don't. It's not like it's gonna arrive and I'm not gonna like it. It's more just like I'm pretty, upon like calm, sober reflection, it's like I'm pretty happy I didn't get it, honestly.
Yeah.
Pretty happy to stick with it. I just, one of the things that bothered me. So the Steam Deck, part of that conversation. The thing about purchasing that is I have a amazing Steam library, so many games. So to get that hardware would be for me to immediately unlock, like, just playing all those games.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Whereas the problem at the present moment with Nintendo is the price point of these games. Like, I would have to spend so much money. Like, I'll say this, like the new Donkey Kong game, of all of them, honestly, to me looks so fascinating.
Yeah.
The destructible levels and like how the digging works, like that looks so fun. I think that would be, I've heard it called like the Breath of the Wild of the Switch 2. In the sense that, like, as far as like, they called it Donkey Kong's Mario Odyssey moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right, where it's just like this big blowout game that everybody's gonna have like a ton of fun with and really enjoy. So
right,
that all works and that makes sense, and just like, but to experience like that is $100 commitment, and for every purchase of games, it's gonna have to be $100, and it's just like it. That hurts. Like it's just going to be hard to validate that type of thing. Or I could repurchase Elden Ring for it, which would be fun. But that's like a $60 to $70 purchase. It's like, it still hurts. So that honestly, that was part of it. If I had, I don't even know how to say this. Like, it's more like if it was a Switch Pro and just every previous Nintendo game you owned got like incredibly better optimized. It would almost make an easier pitch.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, like, I know it's crossplay. I'm trying to say, if it was more analogous to the Switch situation, where it's like you already have a bunch of games, and now you could just like get it going. The thought of a brand new system with brand new games at all costs, the absolute like bleeding edge of cost.
Yeah.
It makes me now, again, upon sober reflection, think it's like probably good to sit it out for a bit.
Yeah, and like even I was thinking when, again, they revealed kind of the price and all the structure of the games, kids' birthdays, they usually ask for a Nintendo game, if any, and now that birthday gift has gone up in price.
It's like, yeah, you guys are going to have to merge your gifts and and also Christmas. Like, it's all in one now.
Yeah, you know how there's like usually 2 Pokemons, like Pokemon X, Y, or whatever? Well, maybe you just don't get any Pokemons. you get what you had on Switch, just upgraded.
Yeah, you
have fun.
So that was there. Hey, gaming dads, did any of you get in line for the Switch 2? Were you successful? Are you excited about it? Are you sitting those one out? Write to us at newdadgaming, newdadgaming.com. So another thing I wanted to speak about. So you had mentioned you'd gone to the Minecraft movie.
Yep.
I think we're both relatively positive on it. I don't think it's an act of cinematic genius,
No.
but it's fun. It's nice to see this much care being put into a video game movie, and energy. I'll say, like, there's an actual energy to it. They're trying to make it big, boisterous, fun. The amount of like actual, I don't know if you've seen any of the behind the scenes stuff. The amount of actual physical sets.
Yeah, there's a lot of props and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yes, they really went for this. You know what I mean? So that's fun. I'm glad. Kids loved it. It was good. I had no small amount of trepidation sitting in that theater. Because walking in, and the first thing I see is like the audience is skewing a little bit older on the kids,
Right.
not to mention a couple teenagers. A couple of them are kind of goofing around. You're like, all right. On screen comes up a warning. It's like, hey, don't do that stuff, please. Like, if you could just not do those things, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then even worse is that a couple folks, I guess there's a couple lines where it's like, I'm Steve or something like that. And everybody,
Yes.
a couple of them like blurt it out.
Yeah.
And just this darkness starts to fall. It's like, damn, are you guys going to do the thing? Is this theater about to erupt into chaos and just ruin my whole... I'm here with my 2 younger sons. Please don't. Just don't do this thing. Thankfully, our theater didn't. Everybody behaved. There's just a couple, gags that they'd say something. Totally fine.
Yeah.
But just, man, that fear of like,
Yeah.
are you going to do the TikTok thing where the movie explodes in popcorn and chickens? Please don't. I just want to chill and watch a movie.
No, yeah, I should have warned you like when that was too, because it's pretty far into the movie. Like, and if you're just sitting there with like this ghost white face and like you're like, okay, when does it happen? When does the chicken jockey happen? That might have given you some, okay, I can wait 3/4 of the movie, it pops, so let's see what happens.
It's just as soon as I saw the wrestling ring too.
The wrestling ring. Yeah.
As soon as I saw the wrestling ring, I'm like, oh no, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. Here we go. Like, what are these kids about?
Oh no.
Yeah, but man, even the fact that they had to have like the warning is please don't do the thing. Like,
Yeah.
just be calm.
I'm not sure the marketing people know how to talk to kids, because you now reminded them that there is a thing and that they will do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, please don't throw popcorn. Well, now I've got to. I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, I will say, like, I don't know if it's like spoiling, but when the characters discuss the title of the film, is that a spoiler?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's not really.
Yeah, okay. So at some point, it just seems like the biggest nod to like the parents. It was giving like this huge nod. They're like, we have to go down and like they have to craft stuff. Before we can craft stuff, we have to mine it. Let's go mine, craft. And they all just do this huge like in the center like high five. It's just like no notes. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Thanks so much.
Yeah. No, I will say, like, it's a fun movie for kids. There is that, threat of, something.
Threat.
But I think it's died down.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, it's probably like the worst of the worst theaters. Like, I think it'd be the type of thing where, like, even like larger city like theaters. Like, I can't imagine that, like, my outside Ottawa like theater is really gonna
You're right.
be seeing this type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, glad you had a good time. I don't know.
Just like
a safe time? Like,
a safe time. Hey, let's get into the biggest news I think of the week. Right, if not the gaming year in a way, kind of depends how this all like falls out. But Oblivion Remaster.
yeah.
By the time you heard about it, it was basically released. Like, this came out so fast, right? And what's fascinating about the entire thing? Well, sorry, just hit the news and hit the basics. Although obviously everyone's heard about it. Like Oblivion, the predecessor to Skyrim. What are these type of games called? Like what's the world like? What is Skyrim? It is a
Elder
Bethesda.
Scrolls.
Oh, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
The predecessor to Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls world. Banger of a hit. I think it was like the Xbox 360 era.
Oh, yeah. It was a while ago.
Like way back, right? Like
Yeah.
beloved for its jankiness. Some of it, and often seen as almost like one of the best of the entries in it. Like, people have a real love affair with this thing. So much so that wildly, there is Sky Oblivion.
Yes.
Sky Oblivion was an entire fan-led remake of Oblivion in like a modern like engine. I think in the Skyrim engine, to try to like modernize it. And
yeah.
yeah.
No. Just people have been asking for this forever, and so fans had to take it upon themselves to try and like remaster it. So yeah, there's a whole community built around bringing Oblivion into the modern age with Sky Oblivion.
Yeah, and then like let's call it like on a Tuesday. People are like, "Hey, I'm getting like rumblings that I think they have one. They might be launching it." Right. And then like the next day they just did. It's like, here you go. It shows up on Game Pass. It shows up on Steam. It shows up on every single console. It is a soup to nuts remaster of it, completely like updoing the engine and the graphics, everything else like that. Keep it apparently all the old jankiness.
Yes.
As far as like, oh, if you run at this door, you can just run through it. They kept that in there.
Yeah. So there's a voice line that was they screwed up. They had a retake, and so they kept the person saying the line and saying, "Oh, I want to do that again," and said the line again, and they kept it in, and I love them for that.
Oh, that's so great.
It's so good.
So there's something. Yeah, so it took the internet by storm. They sent apparently Sky Oblivion all the members of that team like free keys to it.
Yeah,
which is a very nice gesture. It is a bizarrely kind gesture from Bethesda.
Really, it is. Yeah, instead of like cease and desist.
And I just mean for the game in its entirety, like just how like it was like brought about, released. I think the sticker price was like $60.
Yeah, it's
So I mean, it's full price, which is kind of a shame, but it's not.
Yeah,
crazy.
Like I think it's worth it. For what you get, it does look like built from the ground up. Again, they got the Metal Gear Solid remake guys to do it, so the graphics are all Unreal Engine 5, built on their old antique creation engine, which runs all the behind the scenes jank that you still see.
Behind the scenes jank. Now, so what is your experience with it, and then what's your experience with it, and then what's your take on this one? Like, are you super pumped to get into this, or did you remember this fondly? Like, is this like one of your like fave games from back in the day? Like, what was the original exposure, and like what's your take on it now?
Yeah, so my original exposure to even Elder Scrolls was Skyrim. I think a lot of people went to Skyrim. So I missed Oblivion. My friend played Oblivion up and down forever, like 300 hours in the thing, and like raved about it, but I was in Skyrim, right? I've never beaten Skyrim, but I've spent hundreds of hours in there just tooting around. And I think that's what these games do. So I did install Oblivion when I got my Steam Deck, like originally, so a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I modded the crap out of it, and it looked really good. Like anything that I didn't like, I would just mod it out, right? So I kept the jank, but like some of the UI stuff was like really old, and I wanted to change it. Not a problem. And I had a good time with it. I never beat it. Again, tooting around in this world, I think that's half my problem is like I need to see every little kind of rock and crevice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been my experience with it. I don't know about you though.
Yeah, much the same. My entry into Elder Scrolls was with Skyrim. I remember when this came out, and I actually saw it on, I think it was XPlay, if you remember.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so those review shows back in the day, and I remember watching their review of it. And even that just seems so fast. Like, this looks so cool, right? As far as like this big world, but I for some reason it just missed me. Didn't particularly play it. So I've always admired it from afar, never got into it. And I will say, like, if the Switch 2 thing wasn't enough, this comes out, and it is free on Game Pass on all systems. I can play this on my PC. I can play this on my Xbox. I can play it wherever I please. And so just have a chance to like dive right in and have fun with everybody else that's like having a great time with this. It's like, damn it. Just like, so this would another like true temptation as far as like it sucks to not play another game. It would almost be, because I think with these type of games what I've noticed is that like because of the jank you can tend to make it pretty easy on yourself.
Yeah.
So this would almost be a nice fantasy vacation away from Elden Ring.
Yes.
It's like,
for sure. Yeah.
Right? Are you kidding me how much easier this would be than Elden Ring?
Yeah. Absolutely.
But Yeah, just however stayed strong. It's just like no, just like stay the course, stay the path, and
So, yeah, can I bring it back to like my first point with like I'll need a jury's kind of
sure,
kind of decision on this.
go on.
I bought it.
Oh, well, not okay.
I bought it.
You bought Oblivion?
Yep, I bought
Okay.
it because I'm like, you know
Bury
what?
the lead. I was
Yeah,
giving you
no,
so much
no,
props
I
for the
was-
honesty. I was like, oh, I'm
like-
so glad you came forth and were honest
No,
about it.
No,
Didn't
I
tell me
was
about
gonna.
this one.
No, I did
Boo.
not tell you about this one. I was waiting for you to get there. Like, oh no, I played it anyway. I'm sorry. Like, I screwed the deal. No. I did purchase this one. So I did look at doing it on the Steam Deck, and it was not gonna happen on the Steam Deck. So PSA to anybody out there, it does not run. Does not run it well at all. So on the PS5,
Like, will it try to run, but it's just not going to happen?
it will try to run, but it almost looks like the original Oblivion with all the stuff you have to turn off. So like, why bother at that
Yeah.
point? But yeah, I failed the deal. I will totally take the bullet. It is like April 25th. I lasted that long.
But by the again, I'm happy to have you fail because it becomes like more funny because especially throughout the rest of the year when you're playing new games,
Yeah,
you're like, oh, there's a great game coming. I'm like, shut up. However, by the same judge, like as seen of Dads v Jeff in
precedent that was set,
the
yes.
precedent. You've had this game before. You literally were just talking about you modded the previous one to heck to try to get it to look good. And then this version comes out and looks like amazing. I don't know if it has any quality of life.
Yes, there is.
Updates.
The UI has been updated to Skyrim level, so it's like the menus. They still have like the book, so that I enjoy. But Skyrim, like you could see the items and like the weight and like everything else that's kind of there. Whereas the other one, you kind of had to dig for it. So there has been quality of life. The saving has been changed so that it saves way more often. It doesn't break. At least that's what I've heard. And yeah, man, I encourage you to go download it because it's so much fun. Especially like if you're in Elden Ring, and again here, just to go in a fantasy world and like again experience the jank and have fun because like nothing's terrifying. Do you know what I mean? Where Elden Ring is like you're terrified that you're gonna die and lose this hour's worth of gameplay. And in here, it's just like, oh, look, there's a wolf attacking me. Gonk.
Whee!
Right?
Just gonna yeet that into the sun. Let's go.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like one of the biggest glow-ups I have ever seen
Yeah.
of the original. Like, it is well done. Good job, Bethesda, which is...
Weird to say. That's why it's just so pure. It almost defies belief. It's just like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't crazy priced. Like I think they had some horse DLC armor, but I swear to God, that's just a troll.
It absolutely is a troll. You get nothing else in it. Like all the DLCs are in the base game. So
just because of that, there's so much goodwill. I don't know if they're just trying to get back a little goodwill before, like Elden Scrolls 6 comes out.
I mean, if this makes me hopeful for Elder Scrolls 6 versus their Starfield, which was kind of like, I'm not sure you know what you're doing. So I think it is a little bit of goodwill, and I've heard it's already sold 4 million copies in like 2 days. So
yeah,
definitely
it's
people
like,
wanted this.
Oh, it went ballistic. I'm seeing a lot of comparisons, which I think is not fair, to Avowed.
Oh,
So
that's not fair. No, yeah.
No, so, but I'm just saying that, and like, so Avowed came out, big, huge, like big pushed launch, reached like this kind of levels, and then like Oblivion is like right there, and it's just like it is so much more. But it's not fair. This thing has had like, it is super beloved, and it's like it's had time to cook, as far as people like, boy, I sure wish I had. Like, there's been this literal like simmering of the internet where it's like I really wish they would just remake this. Yeah. It's not a fair comparison.
No, it's not. It's not fair to the people that developed Obsidian that developed Avowed, right? Where they are trying to come up with a new IP and everything. And here, Bethesda has their homework done for them. If they just look on the internet, like, what improvements can we make? Well, there it is. Like, copy that.
Yeah, Johnny Skyrim 665 says like, oh, very good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna avoid, like, I'm just gonna try to stay true. Like, I'm still enjoying Elden Ring. I got like a bunch of other queue to get to, so I'm good.
Yep.
Just what's gonna be hilarious is if it leaves Game Pass next
Oh
year.
no!
So then I could have been playing it for free like an idiot. I just waited until I had to pay for it.
I hope not. No.
I'll have to see where we get one. But hey,
Yeah.
let's wrap it up there for the week, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the show and want to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. We're on Google Play, Spotify, Caster, YouTube podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. Just search for New Dad Gaming. If you do find it and you like the show, what really helps us out is if you do subscribe, leave a rating or a comment. That just signals to all the systems like, hey, these guys have fantastic shows, just top-notch content. Yeah. Or for at least it's a favor. Do a dad a favor, would you? And it gets it out there. So we'd really appreciate that. As we mentioned a few times, one of the greatest parts of the show is talking to fellow dads. We read all your emails during the week. Often share stories if we're prompted to. So we'd love to hear to you. Reach out to us. So find us on all the social networks at New Dad Gaming or our website, newdadgaming.com. Reach out. Let us know how you're gaming, Dad. Did you buy a Switch 2? Are you playing Oblivion? Is it the greatest game ever? Do you have a different verdict on Dad Court this week, given Jeff's two transgressions?
That's right. Yeah.
You bastard didn't tell me the second. Well, I wanted to be honest. Well, not about that one, though.
Not about that one. I was seeing how you took the first.
Yeah. You want to get that court. You wanted to get the precedent set in court. In Dad Court.
If I'm already guilty, I'm just going to reoffend, so that's fine.
As soon as you... The worst part is, like, you offending basically means you get to play cool games for the rest of the year. There's, like, literally no downside.
That is true, yep.
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Remember, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.
See you next week.
See you later.